I know, me in white. Who'd have thought it? 16 years ago, on this very day in 2004, the Australian Parliament, led by John Howard, amended the Federal Marriage Act to explicitly ban same-sex marriage from occurring in Australia. And the fight for marriage equality began, with grassroots activism building and building momentum over 17 years, until the announcement on the 15th of November in 2017, the day that Australia voted yes for equality, in that unnecessary postal survey on equal marriage.
For the national result, yes responses, 7,817,247, representing 61.6%.
What a moment, and what a crowd. Now, I know a gathering like this on the State Library steps wouldn't happen today due to stage 4 coronavirus restrictions here in Victoria, but this was a huge turning point for so many who never thought marriage was something that was on the cards for them. And suddenly it all began. Proposals and planning for the big day, well, that was until March 2020 when coronavirus restrictions hit. With borders closing around the country and restrictions of the number of people that could be at gatherings, many made the decision to postpone their big day until a later time when they could celebrate with all the people they wanted there. But now that we're in stage 4 here in Victoria, we can't even have weddings at all. And that's left many couples, like Adam and Rob, having to postpone their weddings again for a second time.
Like, I'm not joking, like I'm literally got the Google Docs open where we're writing like the email letter out to all our wedding guests being like, surprise, we're cancelling the wedding again.
This time indefinitely, we're not putting a date on it. It could be so much worse. Coronavirus, like the world's going to shit, all this kind of stuff. Like, yes, that is all true and we absolutely know that, but it doesn't stop the fact that it still sucks.
Yeah, I think Rob makes an interesting point because there's always going to be someone in worse circumstances with you. But then again, you don't want to diminish your own hurt and feelings in all of it. So that's sort of like, I think that's what we find is like striking the right balance between this is shit and disappointment and, you know, being grateful for what you do have.
Now we're postponing it again. It's a little bit of a weight lifted.
I think like, the uncertainty sort of is the worst part of it. That's just, you know, like when are we going to be able to do this? A lot of people have sort of said to us, why don't you just get married and just like get it done, get the piece of paper and that kind of thing. But I think we've talked about this a lot is we got engaged a year before the plebiscite came through. So we're already fought hard for our wedding. And we have a really strong sense of like the wonderful family community event with, you know, lots of booze and love in the room and all of our favorite people from all over the world all together in the same place.
Yeah.
We have a pretty strong vision of what we wanted that to be like. And I don't think we're really willing to compromise on that.
My dad actually asked me about this recently when I told him that we were going to postpone it again. He sort of was driving home this point that, you know, you don't actually have to have like a big fancy event if you don't want to. And I said, thanks, Dad. I know what you mean, but also I want to. Like, we've waited this long. I want to try and paint it as anything other than like, I want to have a really big party where I get to celebrate my relationship and have all my friends and family around.
At the end of the day, what's really important is that we're together and that we're healthy and our loved ones are all healthy.
It's not the end of the world. We've waited a long time. We can wait longer.
Yeah. I'm just kind of worried that my outfit's going to be like not in fashion by the time we actually get married.
I'd be more worried about being able to fit into it than it being...
I was going to say it won't fit in. The amount of wine I'm having during isolation, it's...
Yeah, I'm sort of very carefully like monitoring that. I'm like, am I still a size 28?
I want to be size 28 again. You know, when I was 12. Even in lockdown, love finds a way. We may not be able to get married, but that doesn't mean we can't get engaged. Just like Ro and Lynn.
We were very mature about it. We had a conversation and that was it.
We both sort of said it was something we were thinking about.
Yeah.
And I guess I just asked.
Yeah.
To like, well, I suppose we better formalise this in some way.
We planned an engagement party. This was before stage 4 happened.
It might end up being a Zoom engagement party at this point.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's giving like a light at the end of the tunnel. You know, this isn't going to last forever. it sucks now, but we've got something to look forward to. You know, and I think we all need a big party after this anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This day was like really well planned. Like, I'm a PR and events planner by trade. It was going to be a flawless day of like amazing booze and like awesome party vibes.
It'll be
So
good.
that's why
It will be good.
Arrgh!
One day,
Frustrating.
you know, we'll get there.
It just goes to show that we may be in lockdown, but that doesn't mean you can lock down love. I guess there's still time in 2020 for me to find a husband. I'm sure there's one around here somewhere. No? Just me? Oh well, que sera.